on Business Day Television. I am Deborah Ezeh.
And I'm Destiny Momoh. Thank you for starting your day with us.
All right, let's move to the first conversation for today. Illicit financial flows continue to drain Africa of billions of dollars annually. Funds that could have been channeled into infrastructure, healthcare, and job creation. In Nigeria, the challenge is particularly pressing, with capital flight and hidden assets eroding much needed foreign exchange reserves.
Now, governors across the Federation are actually launching a new platform aimed at improving transparency and also building investor confidence with the goal of attracting more foreign direct investment. But how effective can asset recovery be in reshaping Nigeria's investment landscape? And what practical steps are actually needed to make this new platform deliver results?
And joining us to unpack this is Faith Ayotunde Ogunsina. He's the director, Yooda Creative. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome, Mr. Faith.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, let's begin by asking, how big of a problem are illicit financial flows for Nigeria's economy, and what do they cost us in practical terms?
Illicit financial flow, it's a very big problem that is endemic in our nation, and it's costing us big. About $2 billion is what we get in Nigeria as a foreign direct investment, and across Africa, about $80 billion is lost to illicit flow annually. You know, those money that have been lost through illicit flow could have been channeled to infrastructural development, healthcare, grants for businesses, building of schools, education. So we are really missing out big time due to illicit flow, and also it's telling on citizens because the government will have to tax us more to get money to fund projects. So it's a very big issue that we cannot just take with levity hand.
So now, in what ways do illicit financial flows directly affect foreign direct investment and also the overall investor confidence?
Well, the first thing is honesty, trust. Trust is one of the ways that illicit flow affects investors' confidence. If an investor is coming to the country and they have to misinvoice, pay more than they have to state more than they are paying. You know, it's painting is giving our nation a misfigure. So it erodes transparency or honesty, and as a nation we are being prejudiced against, and we are being stereotyped. If an investor is meeting someone and the person is not coming forth, is requesting for bribes, is asking the investor to launder through something, it's not showing patriotism for us. It reduces investors' confidence in the country when there is no mistrust, when our processes are not transparent, when everyone wants things for himself and is not thinking of the common good of the nation. Investors don't want to commit their money to a place that we say something else on paper, but something else is happening at the behind the scene. So in short, in summary, what that act does for us as a nation is that it sends investors away, and we'll see in 2023 some of the big multinationals we have. We start seeing a massive exodus of multinationals that we have leaving the country. It does not present us in a very good outlook. They don't want to commit, and also it gives rise to incompetence. When someone is willing to pay extra to get a contract, and that person wants to follow due process, it's not leveling the playing field, and so many people will not want to come on board to partake in the project.
Okay, so tell us what is unique about this new platform launched by the governors, and how do you think it differs from previous anti-corruption or asset recovery initiatives?
Well, when I saw the Investopedia by the Nigerians Governor Forum, I was very I was very excited because that's what the citizens have been calling for. It will lead to diversification of investments across the country. Now, anybody willing to come into the nation knows where to go for what kind of investment. And while I was going through the Investopedia, the manufacturing will become the next big thing. Manufacturing and real estate. In fact, infrastructure too is one of the top 3 needs of all the states. So we are diversifying as a country, and we've been yearning for that for a long time, that we should not just be dependent on oil and gas. If the global market is shifting to renewable energy, electric vehicles and the likes. So if we are still stuck in a century-old system, if all suddenly every country decides to stop import use of natural gas and petrol, what will be our fate as a country? So the Investopedia is giving investors an outlook of what each state look like. The top 5 investments happening in those states were in the Investopedia. It shows the amount that is needed, that has been budgeted for the program. The investors now know the right ministry, the right commission to interact with. They know the total number of budgets that have been allocated to it. So someone cannot just come because it's privileged to hold a red pen and said so amount must be paid. It's going to bring about a transparent process, and projects can no longer be inflated if this is properly done. Projects, the inflation that comes with project financing and all is going to be reduced minimally.
Okay, so now how can state government practically use this platform to attract FDIs into their regions?
Like I said earlier on, from the Investopedia, while I was going through it, each state have stated the core needs that they need in this, that they want investors to come in their states. And the next thing that will happen is to make investment friendly policies. And in fact, another state gave tax holiday as part of their competitive advantage. Adamawa State, it's also opening. It's also one of the manifesto they put there is that it's going to open the market. Anybody investing in their state in Nigeria, is give them easy access to Central Africa because they share border with Cameroon. So one of the ways the state can really attract it is to make friendly, investor friendly policies, and also to make sure that ease of doing business in their states is very easy. They need to tighten up. The places faced with insurgencies need to tighten up the security of their states. On the long run, this will benefit the citizenry of Nigeria because this is going to create job opportunity for us. The states can go further to showcase bankable projects. Because the use of technology, blockchain system of database, so that everybody sees what is going on in the state, what is happening. That is going to make foreign investors happy to put their money in the states. Thank you.
Okay, now take us through the specific mechanisms that will ensure transparency and accountability when it comes to assets recovery process.
Okay, so like when I was talking about how states can kill it into this, is blockchain is a new technology that shows blockchain gives everything in the open and nothing is hidden when using a blockchain system. And one of the things that if we truly want transparency is that we should embrace technology, blockchain technology. Every transaction going on should be open to the citizens. The process of contract should be open. Who bidded for the contract? Who got the contract? There was a time I was trying to check the bidding process of ECOWAS. Even on their websites, depending on category of contract that is there, the people that bidded for a particular contract, they scored why this person got this contract. It's going to make any investor who didn't get the contract will be able to score himself okay, this is why I didn't get this contract. This person is better on it. And, this will also, for local investors, is going to bring about collaborations. So open contracting system is very important, and that can be done through blockchain. Also, making sure that the real owners of companies are known to the public. During the awarding process, of the Coastal Road was, allegedly shady, and it brought about uproar in the country that the process was not properly done. If the process of awarding contracts is open, it's going to, there's a way it boosts investors' confidence and citizens and the citizens' confidence. The real owner, it was alleged that one of our officials in government has affiliation with the owner, that was a friendship stuff and all. But the real, some even said the president is the owner of that company. The owner of the company is just a stand figure for him. If the real owner of the beneficiary of the company is known, it makes the process easy. If company A is getting a contract and company A is owned by company B, if company B is Mr. Lagbaja, let's know that, okay, Mr. Lagbaja owns company B and company B owns company A. This attitude of using shell company and be shady about using smoke screen in getting contracts does not benefit the citizens, and also does not boost investors' confidence. So transparency is one important factor. Any funds, any asset that is being recovered during the last regime, money were found in buildings. Some people were prosecuted for corruption, for looting the national security funds. Where have this money gone to? What have they been channeled into? If there's an open system, we recover some money from this person. We've channeled it into 10% of it has gone to education, 50% of it has gone into this. We are using the recovered stolen fund in building the road in this political zone of the country. It's going to build citizen trust, and the foreign investors too, in their case, will be very happy and cooperative in reporting such cases. Also, there's a need to collaborate with the national agencies that we have. The Ministry of Finance, the National Financial Intelligence Unit, the National Security Unit. It's good so that, and also to collaborate with some international parastatals, so that the IMF, the United Nations Developmental Organization. So these are needed. It's going to open up transparency.
Okay. So now, do you see political will and institutional capacity as strong enough to make this initiative succeed?
Well, yes, somewhat. I should not be absolute about it. There is a political will, and some of the policies that have been coming in recent days is going to force every governor to sit up and not rely solely on the federal allocation. In fact, to me, the president was magnanimous in how they derived the sharing formula for the states that are making this bulk of this money should get more, way more. There are some states that the deficit on their budget, their projected internal generated revenue is very low. Imagine a state generating 200 million naira as for the whole $200 million as the whole internal generated for the whole year, and the budget is about $1 billion naira. The disparity is too much. So there's a political will. The governors in the 36 states, they collaborated to bring this, but the issue is implementation. How would this be implemented? At what rate will it be implemented? And the election will be happening in about 2 years' time. Will there be continuity in the process? If the Investopedia if the Investopedia can be coming out, by volume, probably every 2 years, every 3 years, it's going to be good for the nation. It also shows whosoever is in government the templates to which to work by, and also to bring their own innovation to the development of their states. But from the federal government so far, I think the federal government has been they have been doing their best to bring in foreign investments, and some of their policies have been even however harsh and difficult it might be on us the citizen right now. I think they are in the direction to make this initiative by the governors work.
Okay, so from your perspective, how important is international cooperation with banks, regulators, and foreign governments in tracking and recovering illicit funds?
We need to collaborate with international organizations if assets recovery and funds recovery is going to work. Mostly, some of the looters, they are fond of using shell companies, using third parties, anonymous transfer, doing wire transfer that can be into an offshore account, into banks outside. And the world is digital now, and the probability of moving cash is not possible. So we need to collaborate with international organizations to sign some agreements that gives free disclosure of assets. If a large sum of money is going from Nigeria to another country, and the government wants to probe such initiative, so we must have agreements, collaborations with other countries, so that the processes of getting that done will not be tedious. We are still getting loot of some of our military head of states. We are still getting their fund back as a country. It's been difficult to recoup the fund. So international collaboration is going to make this very easy for us. We need to cooperate with banks from other countries. There needs to be there needs to be an agreement between our banks to make sure that every fund, the compliance of funds flowing in and out of the country needs to be taken more seriously. Without that, this initiative will just be a white elephant, and if you will use it to enrich their pockets instead of benefiting the citizens of Nigeria.
All right, so looking ahead, how do you see asset recovery actually shaping Nigeria's economic stability and also ability to attract sustainable foreign investment over the next 5 to 10 years?
The signal, one of the signals that we must show is where we channel this money. It's very important that investors see that the money, whatever it is they are bringing to the country, is used for the purpose that has been stated. And it's also important that as citizens, we also see where these funds are going. I said it earlier on that we just hear it in news that so funds have been recovered. We don't know where the funds are being channeled into. So it is important that there's a legal safeguard for whoever is reporting a case of stolen funds. There should be empowerment of the law enforcement agent in the procedure of how to make sure that they can carry out their function properly. EFCC should be truly independent and should not be used to witch hunt political opposition. They should not be influenced in how they carry out their duty. Other agencies that we have, the National Security Agency, the ICPC, every agency should be empowered to perform their tasks, to be truly independent and perform their tasks optimally. And importantly, there should the projects in which these recovered loot are being channeled into should be known to the public, should not be hidden, so that it will not be a case of recovering loot from someone else and another person is recovering it. There should be proof of what this recovery are being used for. This will send a signal that we are truly a serious nation, and we truly want the growth of this country for our citizens. It gives us that signal to the foreign investor, and in 5 to 10 years time, we'll be in a good place. Definitely, if all these are being properly implemented, our foreign direct investments will have improved from 2 billion naira annually to probably 100 billion naira annually, a trillion naira. Well, who knows if we do this properly.
So much, Mr. Faith Ayotunde Ogunsina, for your time on Business Morning this morning.
We truly appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be having the second part of our conversation on Business Morning on The Breakfast Show. Do stay with us. Now, welcome back to Business Morning on The Breakfast Show here on BusinessDay Television. Now, let's move on to our second conversation for today.
Now, across the globe, Nigerians in the diaspora continue to show commitment to their homeland, not just through remittances, but by investing time, knowledge, and resources in young people. Their determination is now shifting towards creating realistic business opportunities that can transform the future of the Nigerian youth. From London to New York, from Johannesburg to Toronto, Nigerians living abroad are leveraging their international exposure and expertise to impact the nation's economic landscape. Beyond financial support, they are building bridges that connect global best practices with the entrepreneurial energy of Nigerian youth.
And in practical terms, diaspora-led initiatives now focus on mentorship programs, startup funding, and capacity building workshops, equipping young Nigerians with the skills to navigate business realities at home and compete in global markets. As Nigeria continues to seek homegrown solutions to economic challenges, the unwavering resolve of its diaspora community may prove to be one of the most vital catalysts for empowering the next generation of business leaders.
And now joining us to get the informed advantage on diaspora exploits is Tsolaye Dorsu. She's the CEO, Sengwa Consulting, and also a global advocate for education. You're welcome this morning, Tsolaye.
It's good to have you on Business Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Now, very quickly, what inspired your determination to channel business opportunities back to Nigerian youth?
Well, so I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I didn't get an opportunity to kind of like spend my young adult years, in Nigeria. So, I would say my roots and experiences, growing up, I saw immense opportunities for Nigerian youths in the creativity, the resilience, the brilliance, and then also witnessed the like barriers we and they are facing with like limited opportunities and not enough mentorship and resources and stuff. And I would say like traveling to over 35 countries kind of exposed and working with global organizations gave me like different perspectives on how thriving economics and economies and then empowering their youth. So I knew I had like that responsibility to leverage my international exposure / business network to influence and create platforms where, Nigerian youths can dream bigger and achieve more. So, they can lead to their own change in their own communities. So, yeah.
Very well. So how are you ensuring that business models and initiatives you introduce are practical and sustainable in the Nigerian context?
I'd say sustainability is at the heart of everything I do. So when I decided to develop my business model for my company, I decided to like partner with other organizations, and I started with like listening and understanding like the real needs of our Nigerian youths and like the challenges that we face within the ecosystem and all that stuff. And I would say, I had to provide, it means like providing skills and like tools and mentorship to empower those young entrepreneurs to build like, the ventures that thrive long term, even without constant external support. So we also work closely with like local stakeholders, government agencies and industry leaders to ensure that our initiatives align with like the Nigerian economy and the realities and like what opportunities that can come about. That's why I launched I would say my first internship program with my nonprofit this year, actually. So.
All right. So now, in what ways does international exposure give diaspora Nigerians a unique advantage in mentoring and also supporting local entrepreneurs?
So I'd say international exposure broadens our perspective, having access to diverse business models, cutting edge technologies, and advanced ecosystems. This allows us to, in the diaspora, to bridge that global, the global best practices with the local realities. And for me personally, traveling and working globally has shown me what possibilities, when innovation meets opportunity. And it's not about just imposing foreign solutions. It's about adapting that, what works globally to fit the Nigeria's unique context. And I'd say mentoring mentoring local entrepreneurs to complete like not just their local obligations, but like internationally as well. So
sectors in Nigeria that you believe offer the greatest potential for youth-led businesses today?
So I would say like the tech industry, agriculture, tourism. I'd say like in the technology and digital innovation, our youths, our youths are growing population. With tech startups, and they have like very limited, resources and everything. So startups have limitless potential to get into like the fintech industry, the AI and the e-commerce solution, and food security is like another big one. It's very critical. And if we like, empower like our youths to, have innovative farming processes and distribution models that transforms livelihoods. And then tourism is a big one, which create it's Nigeria is rich in culture. Like anywhere you go to, everyone has a Nigerian friend, they have a Nigerian colleague or something like that. So our heritage, we're rich in culture, heritage, and like we just have a natural beauty overall. So with the right investments, we can position our country as a global tourism hub. So, those sectors are, they have the capacity to drive job creations, attract investments, and position Nigeria competitively on the global stage.
So now, how do you address challenges such as access to finance, infrastructure gaps, or even policy bottlenecks when supporting youth enterprises?
So these challenges are real, but they're not insurmountable. I'll say my approach has been layered. So with partnership, advocacy, and innovation. So like when it comes to partnership, collaborating with like investors and development agencies to open up funding opportunities. And I actively engage in, with policymakers, even though I'm not like up there yet, but I hope to meet more policymakers to create and enabling environments for these startups and like small businesses. For example, I would say I have a silent mentor that constantly shares resources, and she's fully based in Nigeria. So, shout out to Ryan K. And then I would say, with innovations, sometimes the best way around infrastructure gaps is the tech-driven solutions, whether it's leveraging mobile platforms or e-commerce or digital banking. And I believe with the right ecosystem of collaboration between the private sector, diaspora leaders and governments, we can unlock opportunities at a scale. So, yeah.
Okay, so beyond funding, what form of support, such as skill transfer, partnership, or even mentorship, are you prioritizing?
So money is important, but of course that's not enough. I'll say what truly transforms lives is knowledge, and definitely mentorship and access. So like through my company and my foundation, we focus on like specifically like the skill transfers, where we're equipping the young Nigerians to, with globally relevant skills, and like, in the tech field, in leadership and entrepreneurship. And then, you partner with that with the mentorship and like connecting the youth with experienced professionals who guide them strategically. And then, of course, partnership creates like a cross-border collaboration where Nigerian entrepreneurs can tap into like the global network and market. And I'll say like this holistic approach ensures that our youth don't start businesses, but they scale them, with sustainability. They're like, make sure they're sustainable. So
how can collaboration between diaspora communities and government institutions strengthen impact for young entrepreneurs?
So I would say diaspora Nigerians bring resources, the knowledge, the network, and then while the government institutions hold the policies and infrastructure to enable success. So by working together, we can build innovation hubs to train and incubate youth-led startups. And I would say creating the public/private partnership that simplifies, access to funding. And lastly, I'd say, shaping those policies that remove barriers for the small businesses. So, when the diaspora, all three sectors align, we can create a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem that benefits not just the individuals, but the entire economy as a whole. That's why, our youths need to get more involved with like politics and everything, so they can also influence the, influence policies and changes and all that stuff. So
All right, let's turn our focus on long term. So what long-term vision do you see for Nigerian youth if diaspora-led initiative continue at this space?
I'd say for them to be self-sufficient, globally competitive generation of the Nigerian youth, if the diaspora-led initiative continued to scale, we'll see Nigeria where the young people create jobs instead of seeking jobs. And I'd say like the innovation thrives across every sector, and fewer Nigerians feel pressured to like leave the country to succeed. So, I believe in building, we're building like the foundation for a renaissance, I like to say, of Nigerian excellence, where it's led by the youth, youth driven innovation, the diaspora partnership and inclusive health and growth. So, yeah.
What influenced your entrepreneurial journey or even your career prospects?
My journey has been shaped by like my mentors, partnerships, and of course exposure through the diaspora communities. I've learned how to structure like businesses from scalability and attract investments and build cross-border collaborations. These experiences have given me the confidence to like launch businesses like my second one, and then Sengwa Consulting, and then drive impactful projects that benefit Nigerian youths. It took me working in different industries and getting involved to learn the back door and how things worked. And then I decided that I could also do the same thing for myself. So it's proof that when the diaspora gives back, it creates a ripple effect of empowerment to our youths especially. So. Yeah.
All right, so what specific skills, mentorship, or opportunities have made the greatest difference for you?
So specific skills that have made a difference for me, I would say just like having the backup and just having like I would say the backup and the unwavering support. So that has I obviously face some challenges and all that stuff, but that's just having the mentorship and just having the right tools has helped me, in that sector. So yeah.
I feel these initiatives are helping to reduce the need for young Nigerians to seek opportunities abroad.
So yeah, if obviously this the initiative, obviously that's one of our biggest goals. While we celebrate Nigerians making waves globally, our mission is to like create an environment where success at home is possible, by providing funding, mentorship, access to markets. We're showing us the young Nigerians that we don't have to leave to achieve their dreams and all that stuff. Teaching them how to maintain it and instill excellent work ethics. Home can become like the land of opportunity versus them going away, especially with like tourism. So, bringing more people into the country, and that'll help, boost the economy. So.
All right, what challenges still remain for young entrepreneurs, even with the whole diaspora involvement?
I would say one of the biggest challenges could be like the policy inconsistency, and then having access to affordable capital. Infrastructure gaps is one of them, and then having a shortage of mentorship. So while like the diaspora involvement has opened doors, we still need to we still need like stronger collaboration between like the stakeholders, like the government, and like the private sector and diaspora leaders to remove the systemic barriers and unlock the full potential of Nigerian youths.
So now, before we let you go, how do you see yourself contributing to the cycle of empowerment for older Nigerian youth in the future?
So my goal is to build a legacy, of empowerment beyond leading businesses. I want to create platforms, policies, and partnerships that give every Nigerian youth a chance to thrive. And through my company and like foundations like I'm involved in, so like Sengwa Foundation, George Taylor Foundation, the Dollar Boyo Foundation, and collaborations with international organization, my focus will be on like creating jobs by scaling youth-led startups, driving tourism and culture exchanges to showcase Nigeria globally, and influencing, I would say, policy that opens doors for young entrepreneurs. And by involving myself in like the young youths that want to like run for office and all that stuff, I think that's that goes hand in hand. So like my focus is I had to start from home. I had to start, from home, and Delta State is home, and I went to school in Ogun State as well for like a little bit of time while I was in Nigeria. So, Delta State and Ogun State, I'll say I would want to like focus on those two areas, two areas to start off. Start off, and then from there branch out, to the rest of Nigeria and everything.
Wow.
And I'll say my involvement with like some youths that I've met so far, like my involvement with them, I've just like been impressed by a lot of people that I've met along my journey in Nigeria and everything. And I'll just give a quick shout out to one of my friends that's running for House of Rep in Ogun State, George Taylor. So I'm really proud of him, and like other young people that I've come across. So I'm, that's like part of the, I guess, myself contributing to the cycle of empowerment for other Nigerian youths in the future.
Oh, wow, it's been so lovely talking to you. Very educative as well, Tsolaye Dorsu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank
You
you
too.
so much.
All right, that's the much we can take on Business Morning today. Up next is Big Story. My name is Deborah Ezeh.
And I'm Destiny Mama. Keep watching BusinessDay television. Good morning.